As a follow-up to my Ghetto CD credit card video, today I will be making a CD with a NES Classic Edition games for the PlayStation. As you can see here, I made some nice printouts. This is actually a photo paper. I mean, this was done in the photo kiosk. So, and on those printouts, there is a black circle right in the middle that will guide me while I will be gluing this on. So, firstly, I will cut it out, but leaving this. This is for the back, and I will be cutting this out and trying to paste it onto the CD, so this way I will know in what part should I cut. I left a lot of black, I should say it, a lot of black background, let's say, for the label, so when I will be cutting it, I don't have to be as precise as I would otherwise. Same with this, there is a white background here, right? But I will still know where to eventually cut this. Okay, so I cut out the front label, and what I will do now is I will start aligning the front label, the black circle on the front label, and on the other kind of disc that I burn incorrectly. And when I align this, I will do the same on the other side, so like this. You don't have to worry about aligning from this side. All you have to worry about is to align the discs together, and you have to find perfectly in the middle of the circle here, and it's more or less done. And this disc was at the end of the CD cake, so yeah, just like a filler or something like that. Okay, so if you have this aligned, then what's important is to clamp this down. Let's see, okay. And now, well, the first cut won't be as good, so I will be simply doing this on the board. And maybe I will pop it up a little bit because I don't want to. Okay, so something maybe like this, and you know, a simple cut and of the inside of the black circle. It's not really that important to have a perfect cut right now, but I will be using this sharp knife. It's not really important because later on, after gluing it to the proper disc, I will still be finishing it out, maybe with some sandpaper, very delicate sandpaper or something like that. Okay, so to make sure that the disc is not damaged, I have put some foil onto it, and you know, you can remove the excess like this. Will simply cut itself, and that's basically it. So for now, at least the data, which is around here only, is secured with a bit of foil. Okay, so after all that, it's time to glue the middle of the label, and it doesn't matter how you put it, but important part is to make the center right. So let's see. I will start by putting the glue on the middle part, but also looking at this on the corners over here. So when the disc will be cut, then the label will still stay there. I will put the firstly. Oh, what would be the best approach? I think that on the disc over here, right around, just make sure that you don't put any glue on the foil itself, and over here on the corners of the label, maybe some of that also right here, so it will stick better. This is a normal cyanide glue. It shouldn't affect the data if you don't put it on the part of the disk where the data is located. And now let's try to center this. This will be a bit tough to center, but should work all right. I will leave it to dry off, and we'll check it afterwards. Okay, so I don't think I found the best way to do this, but a general idea is that I will put sandwich the disk between two very straight boards, and just so the dotted line is visible on both sides, clamp it down and then cut it. But we will see how will the result be, what will be the result. I think I will start with the smaller edge, so at least I have a smaller disk to work with the bigger edge. That didn't went well. I guess second try will be better. I have something prepared to cut out the disk, but first let's make sure that it's safe for the duration of cutting. Let's just cut it out again, and also prepare the label. So let me just put it nice and flat on the disk, and the other label. Let's see. Okay, so I will try to make the file that I prepared available for you, but well, obviously not the ISO of the emulator, because well, that would be a copyright problem. Let's see. Just so you know, I will try to put some details in the description in case you want to build emulator on your own. But let's just remove the excess, because I will be gluing this in a moment. I have already something prepared for cutting, but for now I will use the other side to glue this on. And now I will simply prepare the cutout the same as the last time, so it will be nicely in the middle. So this time I did a bit better job. First I did a gentle cuts around the middle with this knife, and then I finished up with the sandpaper wrap around the screwdriver. So that went okay, but I will still have to finish this up after all will be done. So let's start gluing. Let's see. I will start again in the middle. I mean, the gluing is really important part, because you may remove the outside of the. Let's see. Let me show you something. When I glued before, I added too much glue, and even though it didn't do anything to the contents of the data. I mean, it did here, but yeah, this is completely wrong. And but the glue stick to the reflective layer, and as you can see here, and it basically ripped it from the CD itself. So hopefully it will go better this time. So let's start adding the glue and try to do this on the edges, but at the same time maybe I will remove a bit of this. At the same time, make sure that you do a bit in the middle. I think that's a bit too much, so I will remove this. Because it may go onto the CD itself, the data track. So let's center it like so. Let's see. Okay, I will center all of this on this cake, and also will use this as a help to center all of this. Okay, should be all right. That shouldn't take too long, but let's wait a few minutes. Okay, so now it's time to put some glue around the image, so around the label. So I will just gently put some here around this part, and it's safe to put glue under here, but it's not really safe to put it somewhere around here because this part will actually contain data, so you don't want this to have too much glue, because this part could contain data if you burned a lot of data onto the disk itself. So, well, the four corners are stuck, so this should work all right. I may need to apply some glue on the edges after cutting, but generally speaking, should be all right. So I will put some pressure onto this, so this will dry out nicely, and I will be back in a few minutes. Okay, so about the, let's call it a cutting board, it basically is. I made two holes in two places, put the screws through them, put this, well, basically this is a part of metal construction, but what you want to have is basically a nice clean edge that you will be able to cut along. And let's see, and all I basically did is put the bolts on, and that's basically my cutting board, a very precise one at that. It's made out of wood, so that's kind of a problem. But during the project, I also broke this this part of the saw, and I will be using it as a base so I won't be cutting the wood itself, because this board wouldn't last for a long time, and I will be only cutting on this part of the saw. So let me just put the disc in. Let's see, and okay, and let's align all of this. The more I will be aligning this, I won't be using any wrench to bolt this down. I can do this by hand. It should be enough. Okay, so let's align the lines so they are basically barely visible. Let's see. Okay, this side too. Basically the holes are a bit too large for the bolts, and that may be the reason why this is all moving around. But hopefully it should be just enough. I mean, the pressure should be enough to keep them in place. Let me put some more force on this, so you can see the dotted lines are aligned. A bit more pressure. Hopefully this won't break anything on the disc itself. We will see about it. Yes, you can see you cannot really move anything right now, so that's really good. The dotted line is barely visible. I will be only sliding the knife back and forth. I just broke the edge, so there will be a nice sharp part available to cut it. And well, when I did the testing, this takes a long time. By long time, I mean 2-3 minutes for each edge, so it's cut perfectly. But the good thing is that you will be cutting glued materials, so hopefully there won't be any situation like on the like here. So removed from the disc itself because of the pressure that's on the disc. So let's start. As you can see, there is no dotted line anymore because I'm cutting directly on the dotted line. So, well, generally speaking, it seems perfect. Oh shit! As you can see, any false move can lead to damages on the disc. Okay, let's see how this went. Yeah, let's loosen this up. Okay, pretty smooth. That's a bit worrying, but we'll see about it. Okay, so let's do the same for the other edges. Okay, so I should have started with this one because this side is only black and I don't see the dotted line, but I checked with the calculator, you know, this thing. So and it seems alright. So because this is printed on a standard paper, photo paper, and this side is perfectly aligned. So when I check the length of this, and it basically changes about less than a half millimeter, something like this. So let's get cutting. This is the best side to align as last, because it has a red border, and all I have to do is make sure that I just barely see this when looking from this side. Okay, so I'm a bit worried about the part around the middle. I will gently remove the foil and add some glue around the disc, because well, I don't want because if the label sticks to this side of disc, it will be perfect, and that would be enough. So let's just add this glue and it should work. So just gently peel this off. All right, this is pretty pristine, and now a bit of glue around, but just a gentle, you know, barely visible. Maybe I should put it on somewhere and just dip the disc in the glue. So let's try this out like this. Just dip it. Just dip it gently. Let me show you from your side. Just dip it gently, just. So there is some glue on the periphery of the disc, so it just makes sure that on the edge the label still sticks to the disc. But by disc I mean obviously the plastic part, not the reflective part. So let's just gently dip it, because if I will be making a bit of you know, work this on the sandpaper to clean up the edges, this will help a lot. As you can see here, well, let's gently work this around. Maybe I will just, you know, put it on the middle part for this to dry out, because this part is really important. So okay, so yeah, this should work all right. Okay, because no one really likes to show their ugly sides, what I prepared here are, if you, well, should focus. Okay, yeah, so this is list of titles from the and the contents of this disc from the NES Classic, and I will be gluing this here. I will start with cutting the labels to the width, actually, or height, well, I guess, and then we'll cut off the remaining parts afterwards. And it's pretty safe to glue this on this side, because you only have data if you look closely. Maybe it will show. You only have data in the middle part, and you don't have anything on the outside, so it's safe to cover this part. And let's see, let's get started with this. Okay, so general cutouts are done. As I said, there is additional paper on both sides. You may see here the dotted line a bit. And what I want to do here is basically glue this on. I will glue the Nintendo sign on the top, and the part with the titles on the bottom, I will put some glue, but only gently on the periphery, right here and over here. So let me just center this gently, and okay, so yeah, something like that. I will be using a knife to cut down the edges on both sides. Let's do the top label now. So you don't want to put glue over here, just on the periphery. It will still stick perfectly. So let's do that. I want to align this with the top edge. I will leave it now for a few minutes so this will all dry out, and then I will be able to gently cut this around the edge. I think cutting towards myself would be the best way to cut this in this instance. Just make sure that you're safe when you do this, because it's really easy to injure yourself like this. More or less this is a finished product. We have a nice label over here that also will protect the disc from some gentle scratches, because I can move this around. I can move this around and it won't produce any scratches on this side, because it's protected by this, I think, 1/4 millimeter of the photo paper. What I will do now is finish off the edges with a bit of felt. This is 180 sandpaper, and I will. What I did here is put a bit of water so it will be more delicate, and I will sand down the edges gently. Let's see, just moving towards the disc, so it will simply remove the edge instead of ripping out the label. After cleaning the disc, you may want to decide to correct the, if your disc label is black like mine, you may want to decide to correct the center part with a marker, just to make a nice black outline. And you can do also the same thing with the outside parts, but generally speaking, we're done. All right, let's try this out. NES Classic on the real PlayStation. This is a very early model, but let's just listen to the tune. Okay, so our little emulator and compilation is working, and let's see, how about little Ninja Gaiden? Yeah, starts the game obviously, and let's see how it goes. Oh yeah, okay. Let's get into the game. To be honest, I'm not really proficient in this, but as you can see, NES Classic running on a PlayStation. NES Classic compilation that is. Okay, let me just restart this, and maybe... Okay, let's see what else. Alright. How about... bit of Zelda. I really love the intro tune in this game. It may take a while to load, or sorry. Yeah, excellent. Okay, let me just register my name, and I shall be called, yeah, obviously. Okay, so let's start as a panda. Okay, not sure about the keys though. Okay, maybe start will. Oh yeah, register. And let's start. Oh yeah. So, okay, so let's just get the sword, and this ends this tutorial. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you like this kind of videos or other stuff I do, please consider subscribing. I already have 100 subscribers. That's really great. Thank you guys. Thank you, and see you next time.